Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me once again. So today I'm going to do a review and some swatches on the Hard Candy Kaleidescope Baked Eyeshadow Duos, and I'm also going to do a review on the Hard Candy Painted Lady Lipstick in Rush Hour. Okay, so let's get started. So let me just start off by telling you that Hard Candy is a cosmetic line that used to be affiliated with Urban Decay Cosmetics, and then they kind of relaunched their line and now they're exclusively sold at Walmart or walmart.com. So I purchased these at my super Walmarts. I have not seen them at the regular Walmarts yet, but I'm sure since the line is new, they will eventually be at all the Walmarts. So I'm going to put the link over to hardcandy.com over in the sidebar. You can check out their website and it just gives you a list of all the products that they offer, but if you want to purchase them you have to go to Walmart or purchase them from walmart.com. So this is what the packaging looks like. These are the Hard Candy Kaleidescope Baked Eyeshadow Duos. So on the back of these it just says Kaleidescope Baked Eyeshadow Duo. It gives you the name and the number of the eyeshadow, and it tells you we love our animal friends, we don't test products on them. So that's always a plus for a lot of people that don't like products tested on animals. It tells you the ingredients and how many grams. So you get 4.5 grams of product in here, so that's a good amount of product. And these are only $6, again, at Walmart. So that's a very good price. It's very inexpensive. I'm just going to show you each one, and then I'm going to show you some swatches, and then I'll discuss them a little bit. Okay, so here is the Rush Hour Duo, and this is like a peachy color, and this is a brown, and the brown has little gold reflex. I think you can see that. So for the swatches, they're all applied over concealer. On this side they're dry, on this side they're wet. So as you can see, the side that is wet is more pigmented than the dry side. And as you can see in here, the brown, you can see the gold reflex when it's wet, but you can't really see it when it's applied dry. So it's more true to its color when they're applied wet. So next is the Make Believe palette, which is 2 shades of blue. Now here are the swatches: dry, wet. Here is the Daydream palette. This is like a grayish silver, and over here is like a purplish pink. And here is dry, and here is wet. Now when you apply it dry, it looks more of a gray, but when you apply it wet, it looks more of a silver. And lastly, this is Ab Fab, a nice vibrant pink and purple. And that's over here. So these two here are the wet ones, and then these two here are the dry ones. So as you can see, again, when they're applied wet, they're much more pigmented and true to the color. With baked eyeshadows, you can use them wet or dry. Now when you use them wet, they're more intense and more dramatic, and they're much more pigmented when you use them wet. If you use them dry, they're not as intense. So as you notice in the swatches, when you apply them dry, they're not as pigmented and they're not really as true to the color as they are in the packaging. Now, when I rub them like this on my fingers, they're very, very pigmented, as you can see there. However, when you use a brush and then you apply them to your lid, I don't think they go on as pigmented as they do when you just rub them on your finger. So I would recommend using these products wet. I just think the color payoff is much better when they're wet. And I think you should use a good primer. I would say using a primer better than a base would work better. I've tried them with both, and today I have them on. The two that I have on is the Make Believe and Daydream palette. I have all 4 colors on, and I used it with my Too Faced Shadow Insurance, and I used them wet. I applied them wet, and they worked fantastic with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. Now I applied them before. Previously I had tried them with my Sally Hansen Fast Fix eyeshadow base. Now this eyeshadow base is kind of thick compared to some other eyeshadow bases, and I kind of thought that when I applied them wet that after a while it did crease a little bit. So I don't really recommend it with like certain products. So you might want to try a primer over a base. Now, overall, I think these are good products. They're very inexpensive, and you know, most people can find them at their local Walmart. The color payoff is very good when they're wet. And now the only thing is, if you're a person who doesn't really like shimmery eyeshadow, then you might not like these products, because when you apply them wet, they do give off a metallic look, and they do have a lot of shimmer to them. So if you're somebody who likes more matte eyeshadows, then these might not be the products for you. I mean, you can always apply them dry, but I don't think the color payoff is true to the color in the packaging. So if you want the color to come off looking like this and you apply them dry, it's really not going to. So applying them wet is the best thing. But again, if you don't like shimmer, then you might not like these at all. Now, if you want to try them out, they're only $6. So, and if you don't like it, I guess you can always return it, you know. Out of the 4 that I have, my favorite is actually this one here, the Rush Hour. It's the more neutral palette, and I think this one is more true to the color wet and dry, so I think it gives good color payoff either way. And so this is my favorite out of the 4 that I have, and they do have about 7 or 8 other ones. Now, I'm not too crazy about this Daydream palette. I'm not really crazy about the 2 colors together. I wish the silver maybe came with like a black or something, but you can always mix and match them. That's what I did today. I used these 2 together. So next, moving on to the Hard Candy Painted Lady Lipstick. So this is what they look like. They have a little ribbon on the end, which is cute, but I'm not really sure if there's a purpose for it. Maybe to help open it up, I'm not really sure. But, so all the lipsticks are called Painted Lady Lipcolor, and they have really cute packaging. And this one here is called Fire Alarm. It's number 200. Now, you would think Fire Alarm, the name, you would get a red lipstick, but no, it's a nude. So this is a nude lipstick, and I don't know, I've kind of had mixed feelings about this lipstick. It's very, very light, a very light nude. It's the lightest nude that I own, and I own about 5 nudes. Now, at first I didn't like it at all because I thought it was too light for a nude. Like, I have it on right now, and as you can see, it's very light. And so I think it washes me out. Now, if you're somebody of a darker skin tone, like a lot darker than me, then I don't know. I can't imagine this going on, because I think it would even look whiter than it does on me. I'm not really sure, but that's just what I think. So I've kind of had mixed feelings again. It's grown on me a little bit, I can say. And this was also $6 at Walmart. And it goes on pretty smooth and creamy. It's not very thick. Now, after like an hour or so, I feel like it dries out a little bit, and it starts seeping into the cracks of my lips, and it makes them look drier than they are. But I noticed if I put some chapstick on before I put the lipstick on, then that does help with that a lot. So, but the color has grown on me just a little bit. I mean, I'm not in love with it, and I'm not sure that I would buy it again, but I've been trying to use it a little more often just to see if I'm starting to like it more, which I have, because before I didn't like it at all, but now I do like it a little bit. But I still think it's a little too light of a nude. I personally would prefer something a little bit darker nude. Now, I'm going to give you some comparisons. So now I'm just going to give you some colors to compare it with. Here are some lipsticks. These are all nudes. So the one over on the right hand side right here, sorry, I can't move my fingers very well, but the one right here is Hard Candy Fire Alarm. The one next to it right here is the Revlon Matte Nude Attitude. This one here is the Revlon Color Burst in Soft Nude, and the last one over here on your on your left, right here, this one is the L'Oreal Color Rich in Ferris Nude. Now, as you can see, the Hard Candy Fire Alarm lipstick on the very right hand side is the lightest of all the nudes. So I just want to give you a few swatches. So the one on the very bottom is the Hard Candy Fire Alarm. The one here is the Revlon Matte Lipstick and Nude Attitude, and the very top one is a L'Oreal Color Rich Lipstick in Ferris Nude. So as you can see, they all have a different tone to them. This one here has the Hard Candy has more of a peachy tone, and it is a little more sheer than the other ones. It's not as thick. So the Revlon Matte and Nude Attitude is a little more on the orange side, and this one here is a little more on the rosy side. This one is the fairest nude. So basically that's all I wanted to tell you guys. If you have any questions about the lipstick, anything that I forgot to mention, then just leave a comment below and I will answer you as soon as I can. So that's pretty much it for the review of the Hard Candy Kaleidescope eyeshadow duos and the Hard Candy Fire Alarm lipstick. So if I forgot anything, just leave it below. And thanks so much for watching. Talk to y'all later. Bye.